back seat. Still don't know how they survive all this traffic. Such a difficult drive. We're not going to do Cobble today. Wall. We're going to go up near Cobble and MacArthur up to the Edna school. That's where they had some issues at the very beginning of this, journey of putting bicycle infrastructure in over here. There were some issues with the queuing areas for the school, and the city addressed that at the very beginning of the project. They removed a lot of bollards and they made it where you could drive through the parking lane, and that was meant to serve as a queuing area for the carpool. So I guess that's now a carpool area. We're going to go check it out. I didn't focus on that specifically in my last visit, so I'm here at 7:19 right now. The school drop-off is from, I think, 7 to 8. I looked at it the other day. I don't remember exactly, but I know that they closed the gates at 8. And so I just want to go over there and see what it looks like. Maybe I should have gotten there at 7, but we can try it again another day. Look at that little traffic calming pothole right there. That's sarcasm, guys. Sarcasm. Still don't know how, this traffic, geez. How could it get any easier than going right up to the light? There's a few people going the other direction. Somehow I doubt it's going to be a huge issue. Can I make a right? Can I do this? Fairly certain. It doesn't say no right turn, but it does force me to slow way down, which is great. Yeah, there's no signage saying no right turn. It just forces you to slow down and not swing through that intersection and hit a bike. All operated just fine. Nobody in front of me. I do have a big truck that's about to pass. That's the vehicle we build our lanes for. The American dream. Everybody in a Suburban. Let's see, is there going to be a traffic apocalypse at this merge? I think, there are bollards right ahead, and I think one of the things that was called for was to remove the bollards right here so that you don't have to merge and you could just drive straight for who knows how long. Oh. Shouldn't have said anything about the truck, man. The guy's he's driving super slow, being very considerate of people merging over. Thank you, guy in the truck. I appreciate it. And all of these bollards have been removed. So that was Cobble. These is where all the bollards are removed. And if there was a traffic backup, it certainly doesn't exist now. But there's a queuing lane now. So while some of the residents will point back to initial videos showing, a fairly significant traffic backup, because the carpool was forced to be in the traffic lane, the city came out and addressed that. I think that's totally reasonable. I don't like the fact that people can pass in that lane, but at the same time, this is a roadway that serves multiple uses. That's the whole point of complete streets, and one of the main points of complete streets is to make sure that kids can get safely to school. So I am glad that they made that change. I think the city's being responsive, and they have done, frankly, way above and beyond. They have really engaged with the residents and are in good faith addressing their concerns. I don't know if the Our Streets, Our Choice people, the most ardent detractors, are actually really negotiating in good faith now. They want all the bollards gone. They want all the infrastructure gone. Now, as you can see, as of today, Freddie King went on WWL yesterday, still continuing to talk about removal of the bike lanes. And as of today, the issues at Eton have been addressed. St. Andrew the Apostle School. That's been addressed. And so please take this video as a little bit of evidence. You know, it's just one day, but then again, at the same time, the video they like to point back to is also one day, and it was at the beginning of this project. And they've made changes in the meantime. They've also hardened some of the bike lanes, which is great. So we'll flip around and go back. It's very cold today. Just another little piece of color commentary, you know. If you read the Our Streets, Our Choice website, which is, I mean, what a screed. I mean, I have a feeling I know who wrote that website. And that person obviously is retired and doesn't have anything else to do. And yeah, so they claim to be nonpartisan, but they've also supported, you know, politically supported King. I mean, that's nonpartisan. I guess that doesn't mean party. I guess that's their way of saying that we're a, you know, suburban, formerly red line neighborhood that typically tends to veer a little away from politicians like King, but they're willing to support him if he's out, you know, getting rid of the bike lanes. So, you know, one of the things that they like to say is that we're all bike zealots, you know, zealots. I mean, obviously, I own a vehicle. I drive it more often than I would like because I'm forced to. The infrastructure just isn't really there for me to be able to use my bike more often. But we're getting there. My daughter's also not quite old enough. She's 9 months. I'm not putting her on her bike just yet. Not in this weather. But when it comes to nice weather in a couple more months, I'll be able to take her, you know, on a special seat and be able to take her places and do things. I really hope we'll be able to do that for Mardi Gras. So, you know, and look, we've made lots of accusations too, you know, of you know, all these people want to do a speed. I think there's an objective reality there to argue that. You know, if you want to get rid of these bollards right here that are protecting the parking lane, you know, what is the purpose of that at the end of the day? It's to allow people to just drive at full speed down those lanes. And so it's just really hard to take some of these arguments seriously, especially when there has been such, like, very good faith efforts by the city. You know, I've talked to some of the people at the city. It bothers them. And look at that, just running right through that red. That's a New Orleans left at a light. There is a stop bar there. You're supposed to stop. Anyway, you know, they're bothered by the fact that people are so unreasonable. They came into this assuming that they could address some of these concerns and make something that was better for everybody. I commend them on their faith in that regard. I think that's what good people do. They have faith in humanity. But you know, some of us have a lot of life experience, and it's just kind of like, well, we know where this is going now. You've addressed the good faith concerns, and now it's we got one win. You gave us an inch, and we're going to take a mile. In fact, we're going to take multiple miles of good bike infrastructure and throw it right in the garbage can because we see this neighborhood as a car-centric place. And, you know, there have been some comments as well that I mentioned it in my last video, but, you know, I don't get on Nextdoor, and I saw a link on Nextdoor. I just went through the comments, and good Lord, the dog whistles. I mean, you know, the people that are breaking your windows, carjacking your cars or whatever are protected. Like, what are you trying to say? You know, that was actually one of the people who liked that post, actually, was the lady who I just drove by her house. She's got Our Streets, Our Choice up, and I can tell it's her house because that's where she took her video of the backup on Eton. But, you know, like, shame on you. Like, give me a break. Your neighborhood sits right between some low-income areas and some commercial zones. people have to get to their jobs. People are going to go through your neighborhood. If you think for a second that you're going to be able to gatekeep your neighborhood and keep out pedestrians and bikes because you want to maintain, some level of implicit economic segregation, then, yeah, good luck with that. I'm going to just kind of call it out for what it is, and I think everybody knows what it is. So let's not go any further there. This is beautiful, though. Look at this. I mean, this is protected. This is, this is coming up on a very dangerous intersection. People will fly through here. General de Gaulle sucks. People rip 60 down General de Gaulle all the time. And so, on the roadways leading up to it, of course, everybody wants to do 45, 50, and that's why we had 70% of people exceeding the speed limit before. So I'm away from the bike infrastructure. I'm riding in a lane that should one day, I shouldn't say this should be a bike lane. They got a great neutral ground. Whenever they get done with all these SELA projects, hopefully they can incorporate a two-way bike path somewhere into the banks of these canals once they're done turning them into not box culverts, they're square flumes. Alrighty, that's it for today. See y'all later.